Welcome back, everybody. It's Pinky Plankton again. Today, we are going to talk about one of Mermaid Nina's favorite sea creatures, the dolphin. Now, before we start, make sure you go on our website to the education section and print out the fill-in-the-blank worksheet, the multiple choice worksheet, the dolphin label worksheet, and the crossword puzzle to do during or after the video. Now, here on Hilton Head Island, we have several groups or pods of dolphins that add up to over 170 dolphins that live here year-round, and over 400 dolphins that come to visit us in the summer when they're migrating up and down the East Coast. The species or type of dolphins that live here are called Atlantic bottlenose dolphins. And a bunch of the dolphins that live here have names. For the boys, which are called bulls, we've got Stu, Stan, and Captain Hook. We also have Betty, Cheerio, Chopper, Rowdy, Roly-Poly, Fran, and Droopy, who are some of the females, or cows, which is what adult female dolphins are called. In Hilton Head Island, we've even got some baby dolphins, or calves, named Little Betty and Aquaman, although Aquaman is getting pretty big at this point. If you work on the water, or live in the sea, and see these guys every day, you can start to tell who is who. We do that by looking at the shape of their fluke, which is what the fin at the back is called, and we look at their dorsal fin, which is the fin on top. Dorsal fins are like a human fingerprint. Every one is completely different. There are dolphins here that have triangle-shaped dorsal fins, curved dorsal fins, flopped over dorsal fins, ones with dents on their fins, and there's even a dolphin here that doesn't have a dorsal fin at all. Now, Roly-Poly was not born without a dorsal fin. She was in a boating accident a few years ago, but she's doing okay now. Since dorsal fins are used for balance, Roly-Poly had to work really hard and practice and develop muscles to help her swim normally again. Another way that we can tell the dolphins apart is by the scratch marks, which are called rake marks on their side. Male dolphins often have more rake marks than the female dolphins, which is one way to tell a male from a female when looking at them from a boat. The other way is by looking at their size. Males are always bigger than the females. The rake marks are made by dolphins when they swim really close to one another. They actually scratch each other with the fins on their side, which are called pectoral fins. They also scratch each other with their teeth as a way to communicate with each other. Speaking of swimming, dolphins can swim as fast as 25 miles per hour in short bursts. That's really fast. They can also hold their breath for 8 to 10 minutes, so they can get pretty far, pretty fast. Pinky Plankton, that's me, cannot hold her breath for 8 to 10 minutes. I've got about a good 30 seconds. Some humans are good at holding their breath, but no one can hold their breath like a dolphin can. Just like us, dolphins are mammals and vertebrates, which means they are warm-blooded, breathe air, have a backbone, and have hair. Now, you may be wondering, but Pinky Plankton, I've seen a dolphin before, and I've never seen any hair on a dolphin. Well, that's because they only have it for a little while. When dolphins are first born, they have a thin layer of hair right around their snout, which is called a rostrum. It looks kind of like a mustache. That hair falls out shortly after they're born, and they never grow anymore. But that's how we can say they have hair. Like I said earlier, they can hold their breath for 8 minutes. But after 8 minutes, a dolphin needs to breathe. They do that by coming up to the surface of the water, and they breathe out of a hole on top of their head, which is called a blowhole. The dolphin can also use its blowhole to talk to other dolphins. Now, here, the water is not very clear like it is in other parts of the world, like the Caribbean or Mediterranean. Though you can't see clearly in the water, that doesn't mean the water here is dirty. The reason the water is so dark here is because of the plants we have around here, such as Spartina grass, which leaks chlorophyll into the water, which is the stuff that turns it green, and the kind of sand we have here, which is called pluff mud, also muddies up the water. Now, if the water is so dark and murky here, how can dolphins see where they're going? Well, dolphins are like superheroes because they have something like X-ray vision. This vision is called echolocation. Echolocation is when a dolphin sends out a sound like a sonar. It's like the dolphins have their own radar under the water. The sonar signals are sent from the lower part of their jaw, and they receive them coming back to their melon, which is also known as a forehead. Then that sound bounces off of things like boats and fish and sharks, other dolphins, mermaids, and everything else in the water. Echolocation is used for seeing only. They can see the shape of an object, the size of an object, and determine how far away it is. The waves are shorter and return more quickly when something is closer, and there is a bit of a delay when the object is further away. Mermaid Nina told me that when her dolphin friends try to find her, they echolocate off of her, and it's like a radio wave noise that is really quick. When the dolphins are far away, the radio wave sounds are slower and further apart. The closer they get to her, the radio waves get shorter, and that's how she knows they are coming over to see her. She also told me that sometimes it tickles a little bit. Now, dolphins have their own signature whistle, which is like their name. And I'll let you in on a secret. That's how Mermaid Nina can tell her friends apart. Dolphins talk to other dolphins, but they don't have vocal cords like you and me, so they use their blowhole to make their sounds. Their language is a collection of whistles, clicks, and squeals, and that is how they communicate with other dolphins in their pod. Dolphins learn these whistles when they're young, so when they hear a dolphin from their pod across the way, they can tell who it is and they can communicate with each other. Now, let's say a dolphin came from Florida to Hilton Head and met a dolphin from here. They would not be able to communicate with each other because their collection of whistles and clicks are like two separate languages. It's like if you met a person from a different country and didn't speak their language, and they didn't speak yours. But the dolphins around here are pretty smart, and they seem to figure out working with each other. Now, I know you all think you know what a dolphin sounds like, right? You think it sounds like this. Well, that's actually not the sound a dolphin makes. That sound, and the sound dolphin toys make, was actually created by this guy named Mel Blanc, who was the voice of the cartoon character Bugs Bunny. A dolphin actually makes a clicking and a whistling sound like this. So they use these unique sounds to talk to other dolphins in their pod, to see where they're going using echolocation, and to find food. The bottlenose dolphin can eat up to 30 pounds of food a day. They eat bait fish, squid, and shrimp, which are all things we have plenty of down here in Hilton Head. A unique thing that the dolphins do down here in the low country to catch their food is called strand feeding. For strand feeding, a group of dolphins will chase a school of fish into a cove where the pluff mud is, and they'll force the fish to jump out of the water and onto land. Then, the dolphins will purposely beach themselves, which means that they put themselves on dry land, and they'll snap up all of the fish that they can reach, and then they'll wriggle themselves back into the water, because dolphins do much better in the water than outside of it. Now, dolphins are really smart and very pod-oriented. They like to help each other out when hunting. And when it comes to the baby dolphins, the female dolphins all help babysit them when necessary. They also come together at night when it's time to sleep. Now, dolphins have to keep swimming and coming up for air while they sleep. So they do this really cool thing where they turn off half of their brain. So they're technically asleep, but enough of their brain keeps working that they can keep swimming together with their pod and stay safe from predators like sharks. Now, let's go over what we learned today. Number 1, a group of dolphins is called a pod. Number 2, the kind of dolphins that we have here on Hilton Head Island are the Atlantic bottlenose dolphins. Number 3, we can tell the dolphins apart by the shape of the dorsal fin and fluke. Number 4, dolphins are mammals, which means they breathe air and they can hold their breath for 8 to 10 minutes. Finally, dolphins use echolocation to see underwater and use their signature whistles to introduce themselves when they meet a new dolphin. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you had fun learning about our dolphin friends. See you next time!